for the serious gamer.
What's going on, NextGenTactics? It's Guns for Hire here with a three-part review of Singularity. Well, first off, it's a nice-looking game. I mean, it's a standard, high-definition graphics that you're getting here. The atmosphere, the environments are well detailed. The shading, the lighting, everything is good. I mean, it's dark, but that's sort of the nature of the game itself. But it has a lot of the same elements that you would find in a lot of the shooter games, including games like BioShock, a very strong comparison. So I'm showing you here quickly here. I mean, you can manipulate multiple things. There's, some of them serve purpose, some of them don't. You don't really need to access any of them, like the recordings and stuff like that give you information. There's notes. If you really want to get into a game, and usually I do that, if I wasn't rushed and I'm just doing a quick review, then I would read all that stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of information, and that's part of the fun of the game, is getting into it, getting the story and sort of putting it all together and actually really getting involved. And I think you'd enjoy it a lot more if you did that. So once you're into it a little bit more, the E99, Element 99, it's the element that you're sort of basically powering the entire game from, and it has an ability to warp time, and it unfortunately has created some nasty little monsters as well. So you're going around, you find little crates where you can find more Element 99, and later you'll use this power to warp time. So in the beginning, it's just sort of getting used to the environment, and the environments are great, don't get me wrong. They're fine. Standard shooter game. I actually did enjoy it. I mean, I like it. I tend to get into the game a little bit more. I like the atmosphere. Like this part here, I'll be quiet. Creepy. You know what I mean? So look, I mean, there's tape recorders all over the place that'll sort of get the story in there. And if you're not one of those people that just rush through it, if you're just going to rush through it, why bother playing games like this? It's not, you don't play a campaign game just to run through it like some of you people do. You're there to enjoy the story. It's to sort of try and get part of it. So if you want to get sort of involved in it, then there's a ton of stuff here for you to sort of try and get more involved. And here's some of the monsters. This is the first monster that you come across, and I'll show you. So you get to see it, and then once you go through here, you get a little surprise because he wants to hump you. Ready? Oh my goodness, dude, I know it's been a long time, but I'm not your type. Anyway, so you keep going along here, and of course the Russians are actually your enemy. I know it's been done a long time. If you want to drop any of the monsters, atypical of any shooter game, a shot to the head. A shot to the head will drop them. Yes, indeed. Within the first hour, you're going to meet up with your army buddy that you started the game with, and you get to go on a little bit of a rampage here. You get a little taste, getting used to some more advanced weapons like this assault rifle. You also pick up a shotgun, and there's ammo all over the place. Some people complain that there's not enough ammo, that you use it, you run out too much. Well, that's usually a case when you're not aiming for the head, or you don't burst. I mean, I'm shooting blazing like crazy there, but what I'm saying is, if you shoot to the head and you burst fire, like any shooter game, you should have more than enough ammo. There's a lot of weapons caches everywhere, so there shouldn't be that bit of a problem here. Creepy crawlies. I mean, it's your standard shooter game, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, and I'm not hating it by any means. I think they did a really good job of doing it, creating the environments, the weapons, the storyline. I think it's actually pretty solid. I know it gets a bad rap. Like, a lot of people have given it like 7 or even lower out of 10, but you know what? I don't think it's really that bad. Multiplayer, that's a different story, and I'll get into that after. But as far as the campaign, you know what? I enjoyed it, and I absolutely, if I had time, would actually go through this entire game because it's actually fun. I think it's actually a lot of fun. The environments are really good. The storyline's solid. So I don't know why everyone's, taking a big dump on this. It's actually a pretty solid game. It's a lot of fun to play. The mechanics are smooth. As you can see, the movements. And believe me, I'm a huge complainer when it comes to movements. I'm not going to say which games I don't like, because a lot of you guys do like them. But as far as the movement and the control of this game, the mechanics are smooth. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's the Unreal Tournament engine that they use in this. So it is, they had a lot of practice. Now I'm going to sort of seal it off here with the first real big fight not against monsters, but a nice, look at this weapons cache. You know you're going to be end up friggin' fighting when you come across weapons like that. The poop is going to hit the fan, you know what I mean? If you're used to shooter type games and you have a lot of experience playing, you will not have any difficulty whatsoever speeding through these first few sort of scenes or whatever parts of the actual campaign mode. Again, like I said, you know, other than sort of maintaining the storyline, making sure, oh, here's some upgrades. There's all sorts of different things in here. Weapon upgrades, different types of weapons, unique weapons, actually. There's a really cool weapon that I show in part 2 I thought was friggin' pretty amazing. Sniper rifle is pretty cool, too, here. And I believe, I'm not sure if it uses E99 or not, but you'll see here that you're actually able to slow down time. And I'm not sure, I could be wrong, it doesn't really matter. But the bottom line is, when you're taking your sniper shots, you can actually, what is that there? It's called temporal distortion. So I'm not sure if that actually uses E99, but you can see there it actually does slow down time. So not exactly sure if that's done so that you can just enjoy your sniping a little bit more, make it a little easier. But it's pretty standard stuff. Later on, that's when the fun stuff sort of happens, when you get a little more control and you actually start to manipulate time, which again, like I said, I'll show you in part 2, and I'll also throw in the first sort of major boss that you fight in this game. And while I say he's not too hard, I do die once in it, and then I come back and I win it. So never said I was the ultimate. Believe me, I'm not. I do lose the first round, but I come back. And you know what? If I took my time with it, not that hard. Not that hard to figure out. You're not going to get that frustrated with it. And like I said, it's kind of fun. The campaign mode, the storyline is pretty solid. There's enough action to sort of keep you busy, and the storyline is solid enough that you should be able to follow it. Yes, you know, maybe it's been done before, the Russians and all that sort of stuff. The environments are a little dark, but I mean, that's kind of what you're playing in here, and that's, like I said before, it's along the same lines as BioShock, a very dark, mystic, sort of futuristic, post-apocalyptic sort of environment. And, you know, all the standard stuff. You got your health, you got, whoa, you know, sniper rifle. I mean, what game would be complete without a sniper rifle? But the comparisons with BioShock, where you have sort of these sort of supernatural abilities, you know, that are above and beyond what a normal weapon would be, kind of take it out of the realm of your standard military shooter. So that's what I kind of enjoyed, and it is an enjoyable game. It's very smooth, the mechanics are fine, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the campaign mode. If you're looking for something, probably just rent it, but definitely a good game to play. Anyway, stay tuned for part 2 and part 3.